Guys, it's Mazda Monday, and I'm over here at my favorite Mazda dealership up in Broomfield, Colorado. So pretty much I did my rear differential, and I wanted to do my transfer case, right? Unfortunately, I couldn't get the bolt undone to drain my transfer case. So I decided to take it to the dealership, and maybe they knew a way to remove the bolts easier than I did, right? Because eventually I just gave up on it. Come to find out, the NA models is very hard. It's a 6-hour job to change the transfer case fluid on the NA all-wheel drive models. On the turbo all-wheel drive models, they don't have that. You can change it pretty easy, right? The rear differential change is the same on the NA all-wheel drive and the turbo all-wheel drive, but unfortunately for us NA all-wheel drive, they said it was a 6-hour job because there's this bracket that's in the way, and pretty much they have to remove the exhaust manifold to change the transfer case fluid, which I'm not going to be here 6 hours to get that done. And so ended up, since I was already here, guys, and I was going to do the transfer case fluid, and I'm already here, the car's already in the air, they took off stuff already, so I decided I'm just going to go ahead and let them change my my rigid collars, or install my rigid collars, since the car's already in the air and I already made the drive. And it's going to save me some time because I really don't want to be on my back trying to install these rigid collars. So pretty much today I'm getting my rigid collars installed, and I want to do it before and after and kind of just give you if I think it's worth it to buy these rigid collars for this Mazda, because what I'm trying to do is eliminate the I guess like the rattle can sound, or just the cheap feeling of my car when it goes over speed bumps. So I know a lot of guys are doing this mod for more stability and stuff like that, but I just want the ride quality to improve. I don't know if it will, but we're gonna find out. And right now I only have one spot in my car that has rattles, and is right behind the display. So hopefully it reduces that, but if not, that is the only place I need to go, and the area I need to go and try to fix this problem. So I'm gonna be giving you my review here on Monday, and this dealership is amazing. I'm glad they're really out here trying to help the customers. It's family owned. I think they said they've been here over 60 years. So yeah, guys, maybe I might get a CX-50. We'll see. Yeah, guys, I'm just gonna have someone else install it, since they do a good job. They do good work here. So. So I was talking to the guys about the CX-90 that everyone's interested in. So the CX-90 is having a lot of problems, guys. But luckily, if you're still in the warranty, you'll be okay. But right now, they're having a lot of electrical issues. And, if you can, and if you want a CX-90, avoid the first year. Obviously, you have warranty, but first year they're having transmission issues and electrical. So if you're looking into Mazda, avoid the CX-90 this year. Get a CX-50 if you want, or maybe the CX-70, because they already have those. The thing I like about the CX-50, unlike the new CX-30 and the Mazda 3s that are NA, is this. If I can take this off, let me see. See, there's no EGR like on the Mazda 3s and the CX-30, so they have the same amount of space. This will probably be the easiest one to supercharge right here, because I have all this room here. There's nothing in the way. There's no, usually on the CX-30 and the Mazda 3, there's your coolant reservoir. That's not even here. So everything's been relocated. It's in a nicer position. So if you get the CX-50, this is probably the easiest one to supercharge, but we haven't been able to tune them yet, or maybe we can now. I don't know yet. But yeah, CX-50 is probably the easiest to work on. Look at all this room. I can do everything from the top. thing I do like about the CX-50, got the hood struts, you know, versus our Mazda 3, we got, you know, this right here. Guys, just got my my rigid collars put on. These guys do a great job over here. Let me tell you, while I was sitting in there, there was a customer asking he wanted his brake pads changed and his fluid flush because he had been having problems in the cold weather with the brake not engaging like it's supposed to, like it was delayed, and he was like worried. And instead of these guys kind of taking advantage of him and changing his brake pads, which is like a $300 service, these guys pretty much told him, hey man, you only got like 2 to 3 millimeters of wear. The brake pads are fine. You know, our service guys say this is like normal, but you know, the guy insisted that they flush the you know, the brake fluid, so that's what they're doing. But the thing is, I just want to say, you know, like there are some shops out there that would just take advantage of you and, you know, charge you for all that. And even though they know it's good, because, you know, they're just out here to make money. But this dealership didn't do that. And I mean, to get the service done, which I got done on my car, to do the front subframes and the rear subframes, they only charged me like $160, which isn't much considering, like, you know, I'm going to make more than that tuning in a shorter time frame. So I just really appreciate these guys, and let me drive around a little bit and I'll give you my review if these subframe collars actually do anything. All right, guys, I just got done doing my road test of the rigid collars, and yeah, I was actually surprised. Like, the vibrations that I had normally were gone. The car feels more rigid over the bumps. So normally when I go over bumps, the car feels like, you know, like rattle can, or it just doesn't feel stiff. Like, you know, it's like as I'm going over the bumps, it's like, you know, balling up a paper ball, versus now.
They washed it too, didn't they?
Yeah, they washed the car, yep, and everything. So it was a good service. Yeah, he can be on the video too.
No.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I've got to switch the gutter a little bit. But yeah. So now we're over here, and Brian. I just came back over here because I thought I tuned his car, and I actually just read his software again. So after I got done doing it, I came back over here, and pretty much I guess I want to get his impression of the tune. He's going to take it out right now. Here's his car. He has the full Cork Sport exhaust, catback, and then he has the Cork Sport intake. What else do you have done to it? Is that it for now?
That's it, yeah.
Here's his son right here. He's going to start helping him video all this stuff soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm going to see what he thinks of my my stage 1 tune. Earlier, he had a placebo effect. He thought he was tuned, and he wasn't, because I accidentally just read his file again. So I came back, and now we got his tune on there. Yeah, I know my trunk's open, so I'll close it. I hit that by accident. But let's see, kind of want to hear this takeoff and see what it sounds like. All right, let's see what this tune does. We're at an elevation, so it is going to be a little bit slower. All right, guys, yeah, we'll get to his, I'll let him post a before and after of the tune. I don't want to give up too much information on that. But yeah, guys, I had rattles behind my display, and I pretty much can barely hear it if I focus now. Before I could hear it all the time, and now that the car is so quiet, I'm starting to hear other sounds that I never heard before. So I highly recommend rigid collars. There's 2 brands that I know of that do the 4th gen rigid collars. You can get it from Spoon, or you can get it from Magic. Spoon is from Japan. Magic is, I believe, from Thailand. I'll leave the links below. There's other brands out there, but for the 4th gens, those are the only 2 I know. I know there's cheaper brands because some of the Mazda 6 guys have been getting them for decently cheaper. But definitely worth it if you're having the rattle can issue. This is the only mod I did to like the frame. I haven't done any other bracings, and it pretty much eliminated the one problem I had. I was skeptical about it, but as soon as I put it on, it's very noticeable. The whole ride on the way up to the dealership, I had a consistent vibration that I could hear the whole time behind the display. And if I hold where the speaker grill is, it goes away. But you know, when I was driving back, I pretty much couldn't hear it, and I started to hear other creaks, like and like it's still faintly there, but I can deal with that amount of noise, but I am going to try to finish muffling that so it's absolutely quiet. And like I was saying, these guys, they pretty much didn't really charge me much. I'm looking at my paper now. The full cost of the service was $166 for that job. He thought it was going to take him 3 hours, but it ended up not taking him that long. If you are going to do like turbos and downpipes, they probably won't do it because that might void the warranty. And those guys know me there. I've been going there. It wasn't my first time there with the supercharger on there. I might have went there 2 other times with my supercharger on. I had a reaction video from them the first time I came, but the sound was messed up. So after this little clip, I'll just post like the videos without the sound, so you can kind of see what they were like. You know, I had like 4 or 5 people around it, the service advisor, some of the mechanics, they all came to look at it. And before I had brought the car up there, they've only seen superchargers on the Miatas and the older ones. So they've seen the Edelbrock supercharger, but they had never seen like a Mazda 3 supercharged with the 2.5. So when I went up there today, those guys remembered me and they're like, hey, you're the guy with the tune. And the other guy was like, oh yeah, you got the supercharger, I gotta go check it out. So, I mean, they're very family oriented, and they know, like, I'm not trying to come in there and say, hey, you know, my rod through and like, you know, I need a warranty on this. I already confirmed it with them. I'm like, hey guys, I'm not worried about warranty. I just need work done. But unfortunately, I couldn't get the transfer case done like I told you earlier because there's extra, there's a different mounting point, and I'll leave that in here too before I play the video of the reaction with no sound. But I'll show you where it differs between the turbo model and the NA 4th gen if you're all-wheel drive on how you can do the transfer case. So pretty much they told me don't even bother with it unless you somehow end up in like a flood and water gets in there because that unit isn't like really sealed all the way. They said just don't even worry about it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to leave the transfer case alone. I wish I could have done it, but I mean the rear diff is more important, and I can do that routinely. So yeah, I'll play those videos, but that's all for today. Brian's going to be posting about the tune. You guys will be able to get that. And then there was one other thing. So I guess I have a lot of videos. We are going to talk about the dyno. I actually ran out of fuel on the dyno jet because the car was spinning up so fast because I was on an inertia dyno. So I ran out of fuel and ended up having to run my car all-wheel drive. And from what I've seen, the numbers on that Mustang dyno that I go to routinely at Speedy Roo match the numbers at MoFab on the that dyno jet inertia dyno. So the numbers were within 1 to 2 wheel horsepower. So they are both reading correctly with corrections. So right now, front wheel drive, most my car will make is 258. All wheel drive, it'll make 226. And we ran out of fuel, like I said. So I have a guy out right now trying to find an even bigger fuel pump than the LC500. But if you're in a or a 4th gen turbo, the LC500 will be more than enough. Our superchargers floor a lot more than any of the turbos I've tuned so far. So, but they still the turbos make more power because there's less parasitic losses. So even with less airflow, they're still outdoing us superchargers. So that's it, guys. I'll play the video and I'll catch you next week. Next week we'll be going back to all the old videos that I made. I just never posted. So first thing I want to do, since power's done, we're done with power mods, I want to show you all the things I did to drop weight off the car, because that's the only thing I can do now that I ran out of fuel is just drop weight. So when I went there, there was one interesting thing I noticed, and that was my battery test, right? You can kind of see it on here. I don't know if it's backwards or not. Yeah, it's probably backwards. But anyways, my stock battery is rated for 550 cold cranking amps. My current battery, which is a lithium battery, is putting out 1,647 cold cranking amps. So we will be going over my Dohan battery next week, followed by my wheels, because that's another modification I did to drop weight. Peace out.